my name is David Trout, and this workshop is advertising. Advertising is for our services, also researching customers' spending habits. Also, I have a couple of videos that shows an overview of what advertising is.
Advertising is everywhere. In what you read, what you watch, what you eat, what you wear. They're in the sky. They're on the ground. They're in the water. Our economy thrives on you buying more and more and more, even though you don't need any more. And, oh yeah, you're in debt. The goal of advertising is simple. Get you to buy a product, to make you say, yes, I want this, I need this, my life will be better with this retro cowbell dispenser, but a mason jar too. That is adorable. This is the mug that won't fall over. Watch this. It fell. We wanted to learn how advertisers capture our attention and get us to buy stuff we don't even really need. So we turned to Jonas Sachs, an advertising executive and co-founder of Free Range Studios, to explain a few ways brands get into our heads. How do ads tell us who we are or tell us who we should be?
We see 3,500 of them a day. And the majority of them basically tell us you suck. And if you don't buy this product, you're not going to be rich enough, smart enough, hot enough. And so we walk around being told 3,500 times a day how deficient and lame we are.
Are there any ads that have stuck out in your mind?
The number one most shared advertisement on YouTube of all time is that Dove Real Beauty Sketches ad. Mm-hmm. They make the Real Beauty Sketches. It's all about how women are so much more beautiful than they think they are through this stunt of the police artist who's sketching them.
Tell me about your hair.
They make a picture of what they think they look like versus what a stranger thinks.
Kind of have a fat, rounder face.
People are saying, listen, they're reaching hundreds of millions of people with a positive message about beauty. People want to share it because they say, oh, those are my values. That's my idea. And then you start buying the soap because you share those values.
Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody.
So this is one of those classic shop therapy ads. Parenthood is hard, drinking Coke is easy. You need to speak to people on the level of identity, you need to speak to people on the level of emotion. There are millions of people who are going to sit there and be like, yeah, that's my truth. That's it. It's totally me. Thanks, Coke.
Why use Beckham?
Advertisements tell you not that this product does this thing, it's that people like this use this product. If you want to be like these kind of people, use this product and you're instantly one of them. So, we all want heroes in our lives and we want to know how to be more like those heroes. And, watching sports and watching movies that these guys are in, we don't necessarily know how to be more like them, but advertisements tell us how to be.
Are you up for whatever? Don't answer. Grab a Bud Light and show it. Try new things. Make new friends.
It's all just crafted around creating a gap. You don't have enough, you don't have what's right. It's not necessarily even that the audiences are sitting at home and saying, oh man, I need to spend more time in the club. It's like they're saying everybody else is in the club and why aren't you there?
So advertising is just a constant fear of missing out.
There's a huge amount of that.
Wow, advertisers are like crappy friends. They make us feel needy, ugly, and uncool, but we keep them around anyway. This is a beautiful moment. Sure could use a Coke.
Does advertising really work? U.S. companies spend around $170 billion on advertising yearly, so they seem to think it does. Successful advertising uses a variety of tricks and techniques to influence the consumer. They evoke positive memories and emotions that affect our behavior over time and prompt us to buy something at a later date. Marketing needs to reach the subconscious levels of the brain in order for it to work. People don't like to think that they are easily influenced. Humans instinctively look at something that someone else is looking at, so ads often include a model looking right at the main target or message. It's best to use happy faces in ads because we have mirror neurons sounds that prompt us to mimic the expression of the person we are looking at. People find faces with dilated pupils more attractive. Most major advertisers increase the pupil size of their models in Photoshop. If you position a product toward a viewer's dominant hand in an ad, it heightens the imagined product use. Researchers experimenting with images of cups, bowls, and sandwiches encountered the greatest success when appealing to the right-hand side. Colors have powerful associations in ads. Brands choose the colors of their logos based on what they're trying to convey. Red connotes action, excitement, and youth. Green implies freshness, growth, and health. Blue shows trust, confidence, and security. Ads often prime the consumer by naming a higher price beforehand, so their price is not so bad in comparison. To persuade the consumer that their product is superior, advertisers use techniques like the weasel claim. It's vague and ambiguous, but sounds true enough that consumers believe the claim. The unfinished claim, which argues that the product is better or has more of something, but does not finish the comparison. The endorsement or testimonial, where a celebrity or authority claims to use the product when they often don't. In the 70s, Miller Lite commercials featured sports legends and celebrities, and their beer sales increased from 7 million barrels to 31 million. And the rhetorical question, which demands a response in such a way that validates the product's merits. After the launch of Got Milk, sales of milk in California rose 7% in just 1 year. So what do you think? Got brainwashed?
Why major in advertising, you may ask? Well, here are some pros and cons. For pros, you can introduce to new products, free to be creative, diverse in terms of education, not behind a desk, hours are flexible, and minimum wage is very high. And for cons, it's a competitive job to find, conflict among other members, and sometimes limited of creativity depending on the client. Just like any other major, there are many different types of career paths, such as starting a new business, which is working with clients who are starting a new business to come up with strategies to promote products and services to customers. Then there's account services, which is a person who's able to build trust, maintain customer satisfaction, and manage projects. Then there's strategic planners, which are responsible for generating and processing quantitative and qualitative customer information through methods such as focus groups and surveys. Then there are producers who are responsible for finding and launching projects, arranging finances, hiring writers, a director, and key members of the creative team, and oversees all elements of pre-production, production, and post-production, right up to the release of the project. Here are some salaries for different types of career paths with an advertising major. Just like any other career path, you do have to have it. Thank you so much for taking the time to participate in this workshop. I hope you all stay safe during this pandemic and have a great day. Also, I do have a pop quiz worksheet that you can go over this presentation. Again, stay safe and have a great day.